Introducing the Storm Cat. Why use a Fire Cat when you can do 15 less damage and compared to a Dark Sprite you get even less accuracy? Or even better, why use a Fire Cat when you can do significantly less damage with the same amount of pips? My name is Tntosion and today we're going to rank the top 10 most useless cards in Wizard101. Coming in number 10 would be these off-brand auras. You can get them from amulets, and I think the reason why it's even in the game is because there's a wand that gives a Maycast of it. I think that's a thing. So that is why it's listed as number 10, because it does have a use to it if you get a Maycast, but obviously you would never use it willingly if you have to cast the card yourself. You will just use a Furnace, Galvanic, etc., which gives you more damage and accuracy. So that is way better than these off-brand auras. Like, I don't know what King's was thinking when creating this card. Coming in number 9 would be Supercharge. This would be such a good card if it wasn't self-only. If King's allowed other players to give you this blade, then this card would be a game changer, but unfortunately it's not. Now the reason why it's at number 9 is because I'm sure there is at least one person in the game who might argue the benefit of this card, but ultimately it's pretty useless if you have to use all of your pips on a blade. Like, yes, you can use the card, but it's very inefficient if you're using all of your pips. Now this might be a controversial one, but top 8 would be Daybreaker. I know Nightbringer is used in Fellspawn to delay the hit so that you can get rid of the damage cap bubble, but I have no idea what Daybreaker is used for. You can't even use it in PvP, and personally I have never used this card before when doing the main quest line, so maybe it's a side quest thing. Let me know in the comments below if Daybreaker is actually an important spell. Top 7 would be Lord of Night. This is because you're using 5 pips on a 440 drain, whereas you could have used a Skeletal Pirate to do more damage, or a Wraith if you needed to use a drain that badly, or you can use the infamous Ship of Fools AoE for 4 pips, which you get more health from more enemies in the battles because it's an AoE. This is why Lord of Night is an absolutely pointless spell for 5 pips. Like, if you know how to read this card, it's like 3 pips, but then you need an extra death pip, so it's 5 pips. But I put this as number 7 though, because I'm sure some random person still uses this card because it looks cool or something. Number 6 would be Wildfire Treant. I thought this card was the coolest thing ever when someone traded it to me when I first started out playing Wizard101, but obviously now that we're all familiar with the game, I don't even know why this card exists when you can do more damage with a Fire Dragon, and you can't even use the Treant in PvP to steal a blade for the utility, so it's an absolutely useless card. Just throw it in the trash if you ever get it. Okay, so number 5 would be Fish Lullaby. Yes, we're including fishing in this video. So this spell, it basically freezes all the fish in the pond, so maybe if you were the worst fisherman in the spiral, then perhaps this card will be useful, but it does cost 8 energy, so unless you're teaching a 3-year-old how to fish, it is completely useless. Coming in number 4 would be these Beast Moon cards. If you're familiar with Beast Moon, you would know why these absolutely suck. Basically, the pip cost for the amount of damage it does makes the card completely useless. You will always discard these cards out of your deck unless you're a complete noob who doesn't know how to play Beast Moon. That is literally how you detect noobs in Beast Moon, when those players use these pointless cards. Number 3 would be the Dog Tracy card you get from the Merciless Gear. I don't know why you would ever want to use 3 pips for a card you can't even enchant, and the amount of heal you get is an absolute tragedy. It's literally a scam. I think the reason why King's introduced this card is so that Storms could set up their Storm Djinn in PvP, but now that they nerfed Oni Forge into the ground, no one uses a Storm Djinn anymore. We also now have Berry Surprise and Dark and Stormy to deal damage and give you a heal, so this is why this card is one of the most useless cards in Wizard101. Number 2 would be Mutates. King's completely put this card in the graveyard when they PvP banned it. Storms would use it for an elf because the pet didn't exist at the time when they PvP banned the actual elf card. Storms would also mutate a Phoenix for Thunderbird to give himself 3 traps to be more of a threat to their opponent. One of the most interesting strategy was when Awesome This was used Mutate Wyvern in PP as a substitute for Inferno Salamander when it got nerfed into the ground. Liam Isavibe also found out that spamming Frozen Kraken for 3 pips was insane damage as an ice, and so ultimately Mutates got banned from PvP. So unfortunately, what used to be an amazing card is now completely useless. Coming in number 1 would be Cloak. This was such an amazing card until they PvP banned it again with the PvP bans. Basically, you would cloak a shield or a weakness, leaving the enemy to guess if that weakness was a dispel or an infection or an actual weakness, or if the shield was a set shield, etc. Hiding a spell is such a genius idea, but now that you can't use it in PvP, it's absolutely useless because why would you ever use it when you're questing?
I low-key have to do this and hope he thinks it's an ice dispel. That's what I have to do. I have to do this and hope he thinks he's an ice dispel. There you go. There's the ice dispel, homie. Bruh, hello? You're not even gonna take off the... Dude, what? You're not even gonna take off the dispel. He didn't take off that live dispel though. That's kind of gas. He doesn't know. I don't think he knows, dude. I actually don't think he knows, which is like kind of gas, bro.
If you did agree with the list, leave a like and catch me live on Twitch.